Okay, let's continue with our discussion sa itong mga anti-infectives. We are done with alcohols, aldehydes, and then we are now in the phenol and the derivatives of phenol. So last time, na-discuss na ko si cresol. I told you na it's the component of our Lysol. Na Lysol na ginagamit nato as disinfectants. And then I ended here sa thymol. Please do not forget to draw the structures of the anti-infectives na walay structure dinhi sa ako ang slide because I might include that sa exam, ha, ang ilahang structure. But I'm not yet done with the exam actually. I'm waiting for the coverage ko hangtod asa ang akong kaya i-discuss. Okay, so thymol is a chemical obtained from plant. We have the Thymus vulgaris or the thyme, which is a member of the mint family. Now, asa gamit ang thymol, ginagamit siya as an antifungal agent for the treatment of tinea or ringworm infections. So please review the tinea infection sa inyong microbiology. Like when you say fungal infection sa tiil, di ba, we call it athlete's foot, but medically we call it tinea pedis. And then for the groin, sa singit, di ba, we call it tinea cruris. So please review those terminologies kasi we might encounter them from time to time since we will also be discussing antifungals. So isa ka chemical nga considered as antifungal is the thymol. And then we have the eugenol. Ayupak name is 4-allyl 2-methoxyphenol. Again, it will be your job to research the structure of eugenol. Now, this is another compound, another chemical obtained from a plant source. So, it's obtained from clove or specifically from the clove oil. Now, scientific name of our clove is, wait, let me draw it. Let me write it na lang sa screen. Eugenia Caryophyllus. Okay? We call it Eugenia Caryophyllus, the clove. Pero na siya isa pa ka scientific name. This time, it's Linnaeus who give this name. Carolus Linnaeus. It's Caryophyllus aromaticus. Ano siya ang scientific name sa atuang plant where we get our eugenol. So, unsay gamit ni eugenol? This is a compound commonly known as the toothache drop. So, this is common sa dentist, ginagamit nila ni toothache drop siya because this one, aside from being an antiseptic, it is also a local anesthetic. So, ginagamit siya sa mga dentist in drops lang, ginabutang siya sa cotton to relieve toothaches. So, mana siya nga toothache drop ang tawag ni eugenol. Aside from that, we can also see eugenol from other na mga mouth preparations like mouthwashes. Kaya ano man siya, antiseptic po. And at the same time, it has a pleasant taste, so okay lang siya ilagay sa mouthwash. So look at if you are using mouthwashes, then you can look at the content if ever naaba siya'y eugenol. Okay? Ano siya tangled?
Nag-joke ako, ma'am.
Tawa tayo, Bless.
Wala ko kagets.
Siya lang makagets ng joke niya, ma'am.
Eugenol ba?
Huh?
Eugene!
Siya lang na makagets, ma'am.
Oo, yung lalaki si Eugene. sa tanggal. Ma'am, nag-joke ako, ma'am. Next na.
Okay. Oo, nagtanong siya palabas. So, Eugene, ako kita na nga palabas. So, dili ko ka-gets. So, joke din siya. So, okay. So, the next one, we have the resorcinol or the meta-dihydroxybenzene or resorcine. So, this is another antiseptic. However, this time, this is not used for the mouth. This one is for the skin. We have preparations like ointments and paste na ginagamit for skin conditions. Pwede din siyang sa ringworm, pwede siya antifungal, pwede din siya eczema. Eczema is the other term for atopic dermatitis. So, this one is a skin condition. Daghan lang siya og cause, no? Na magpula-pula yung skin, it's itchy. That's eczema. And then psoriasis, which is an autoimmune disease. Pag psoriasis class, autoimmune disease siya. So, it's your immune system. It is characterized by like white, reddish na scales sa imuhang skin, and that's very itchy also. And seborrheic dermatitis or dandruff. So pwede po siya sa dandruff ang atuang resorcinol. Maayo pa ang psoriasis. You can actually treat that para dili siya magbalik-balik. I mean, pwede nimo siya i-treat ang imuhang mga pula-pula sa skin, mga patches sa skin. Pero since autoimmune man din siya, pag mas stress na po ang person with psoriasis, nagabalik-balik man gud siya. Okay? Ang eczema is depende sa cause. So, yes, pwede siya maayo, pero depende po siya sa cause sa imuhang eczema. Kay sa uban manggod, like sa mga bata, usahay magkaroon sila eczema because of like bacterial infection. So you can treat that. Okay? Yeah. Most of the atopic dermatitis that we have unknown ang cause. So it will be attributed to like idiosyncrasy. So pag ingana nga unknown ang cause, most likely maglisod pud ta og tambal. Pwede magbalik-balik lang siya gihapon. Okay? Kapoy lang siya kung naa kay skin condition. Now, what is the mechanism of action of resorcinol? It's a keratolytic agent. Plus, if you hear the word keratolytic, it refers to a substance that will cause sloughing off of your skin. Mag-slough off ang outer layer sa imong skin, magpanit na siya, matanggal ang panit, ang outer layer sa imong skin. And then once na mag-slough off na siya, then ang kanang agent mismo can easily penetrate the membrane of the causative agent of your condition. So for example, your condition is caused by a fungus. So kapag example anak ka ng up-up good na ilahang ginatawag pityriasis versicolor, up-up, di ba magputi-puti ang imuhang skin. So pag keratolytic agent, ibutang nimo na siya dito sa area, mag-cause na siya na mag-slough off ang outer layers sa skin, and then since natanggal ang outer layer, the inner layer will be exposed, and after siya ma-expose, there will be a kanang opening para mag-penetrate ang imuhang drug dito sa membrane ni fungus. And once na makasulod siya sa membrane, it can now kill the fungus or the fungi. That is keratolytic agent. Pero sa mga up-up, ang uban ginagamit nila kay kanang salicylic acid. Pero salicylic acid is still a keratolytic agent. So just like resorcinol. Okay? And then we have hexyl resorcinol or 4-hexyl resorcinol, which is also an antiseptic, and it can kill both bacteria and fungi. Aside from that, napod siya surfactant para mag-relieve ang surface tension and local anesthetic na activity. So si Hexyl resorcinol class makita nato sa market as lozenge na ginagamit siya as local anesthetic and antiseptic sa throat. So kung tan-awon ninyo, if you search sa kanang sa Strepsils bitaw, daghan tag klase-klaseng Strepsils, diba? Pero most of the Strepsils, generic name ana is, I forgot the name of the alcohol. Can you research please the name of the alcohol na generic name ni Strepsils? So aside from the alcohol, na ana siya amyl metacresol. So that's a phenol. Mana siya ang components ato ang Strepsils, amyl metacresol, and then the other one, the alcohol. Can you please research that? I forgot the name of the
Dichlorobenzyl
po, ma'am.
dichlorobenzyl alcohol, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's dichlorobenzyl alcohol and amyl metacresol. Naalang tay Strepsils na color or orange, naalang na siya additional na vitamin C. However, class, naagyud tay another kind sa Strepsils na ang iyahang generic name kay Hexyl resorcinol. Okay? So, pwede ninyo siya i-search. Kasi color anang Hexyl resorcinol nga Strepsils man. Wait. I'm not fond man good of lozenges. Like, di ko ganahan magsigig anong Strepsils. So, ako in it. Okay? Ang Strepsil class, dili candy ha. Kay naadjud siya drug na content. So, just like atong dichlorobenzyl alcohol and the amyl metacresol, those are antiseptic. So you only take Strepsils like if you have itchy throat, you have sore throat, kana lang ninyo siya i-consume. So dili siya himuon og candy. I was looking for the Hexyl resorcinol. Yeah, it's the violet one. The violet one, the Strepsils Max. Color violet, mao na siya ang Hexyl resorcinol na Strepsils. So, unsa ang kalahian niya sa uban? Ang uban manggod kapag ka ang generic name lang kay dichlorobenzyl alcohol o amyl metacresol, you take those Strepsils for sore throat and itchy na throat. Okay? Yatong violet na Strepsils. And then, if your throat is irritated and it is painful, that's the time you take the Hexyl resorcinol or the color violet. I'm not that sure if nasa Philippines. I think na siya sa Philippines, yes. Pero dili lang ata siya common. Okay? That is an antiseptic sa throat, si Hexyl resorcinol. Questions? Wala? Okay, so let us continue. That is for the phenol and its derivatives. Now let's move on to another group of anti-infectives. We have the oxidizing agents. Again, we have the oxidizing agents, and their use as anti-infective is dependent on the liberation of oxygen. So mauni siya ang mga chemical agents nato na once applied, they will release oxygen. So mag-release sila og oxygen just like the peroxides. Kanang hydrogen peroxides nato, di ba pag ibutang nato siya sa ato ang samad na bubbles na formation. So mo to siya ang oxygen na na-release. And other oxidizing agents will cause denaturation of proteins. So just like the permanganates nato. Pag i-apply siya, it will not liberate oxygen, but once na makapenetrate siya sa membrane sa atong bacteria, mag-cause siya o denaturation of the protein of the bacteria. So pag denaturation sa protein, ano na siya, maputol ang mga bonds sa protein and then dili na makagrow ang bacteria. So since the peroxides, for example, is dependent on the liberation of oxygen, then this type of anti-infectives is most likely used for anaerobic bacteria. So di ba sa inyuhang microbiology, bacteria can be classified as either aerobes or anaerobes. So pag aerobes, those are the bacteria that needs oxygen for them to survive, while the anaerobes are those bacteria na in the presence of oxygen, they might die. So pag anaerobes ang cause sa, ang causative agent sa isa ka condition, we can use this type of anti-infectives, the oxidizing agent. Especially if ka ng mga wounds na lalong gani, kapag kalalong kay imuhang wounds like nakatama ka og lansang, ang inner portion ana is kulang siya actually og oxygen. So ganahan ang Clostridium tetani. Okay, so that's the bacteria that causes the tetanus. It's an anaerobe, so gusto niya og places na walay oxygen. So mao na siya. Ang tetanus is not caused by the lansang but the bacteria in the soil that thrives in places na limited ang oxygen supply. So kung tanganin mo siya hydrogen peroxide as an antiseptic, it will be good kasi hydrogen peroxide will release oxygen. Okay? So syempre we have the first one, the hydrogen peroxide at 2 to 3%. So there will be bubbles na ma-form and it's an indication na there is liberation already of oxygen para matanggal po at the same time ang mga debris inside or sa imuhang wounds. Okay? However, the problem with using hydrogen peroxide as an antiseptic is its poor penetrability and transient iyahang action. Pag mahuman na ang bubbles na formation, dili na siya ato ka-effective. And at the same time, dili siya kaayo makapenetrate sa cell membrane sa bacteria. So mao lang to siya ang problem in using the agua oxygenada or the hydrogen peroxide. And then we have carbamide peroxide also in the market. The brand name is Glyoxide. It's a combination of hydrogen peroxide and at the same time urea. However, once you mix this in water and i-apply mo siya sa wound kasi this is an antiseptic at the same time a disinfectant, mag-liberate gihapon siya og hydrogen peroxide. So kaning carbamide peroxide is most likely used sa mouth for oral ulcerations or sa mga dentist ang nagagamit ani. Pero again, this is an oxidizing agent because ang action jud niya is dependent on the release of oxygen by the hydrogen peroxide. And then we have the hydrous benzoyl peroxide or the Panoxyl. The brand name in the market is Panoxyl. Natay klase-klaseng concentration in the market, 2.55 and 10%. And this is a board exam question because so far, hydrous benzoyl peroxide is the most effective na topical over-the-counter drug for the control of acne. So, para sa acne acne is different from pimples. Pimples is caused most likely by Staphylococcus aureus, while acne is caused by Propionibacterium acnes. So if you want to treat acne, if ever naamoy acne this one is the most effective so far na OTC drug. Now, what is the action of the hydrous benzoyl peroxide? This is both keratolytic and keratogenic. So, na-mention ako kagaina, what is a keratolytic agent? This one causes sloughing off of your skin. So, the outer layer of your skin will peel off, mag-slough off na siya. And since it's also a keratogenic agent, it will also cause the repair of the skin na slough off. So kung natanggal to siya ang outer layer, the bacteria will be exposed and there will be penetration. However, our problem with the use of hydrous benzoyl peroxide after use ani class kay madry jud imuhang nawong. Okay? It will cause dryness. Okay. Do not forget to research the structures of these agents, ha? Let's continue with the halogen-containing compounds. So in your inorganic chemistry, you have learned what are the halogens. They are our group 7A members sa periodic table. So kanang grupo ni fluorine, that's the halogens. So fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine. The next compounds that I'll be discussing are the compounds with either of those elements. So pwede fluorine hangtod kay astatine. So let's start with the iodine because this is actually the oldest known germicides na we still use up to this day. So natay mga preparations of iodine that are official in the USP. So kani paborito jud nila sa board exam. We have the iodine tincture. Do not forget that pag iodine tincture siya class, since tincture siya meaning na siya alcohol. So among the three, this one has the alcohol na content. It's 2% na iodine solution in 50% alcohol with sodium iodide. So do not forget the presence of sodium iodide at the same time the potassium iodide in Lugol solution is ano sila? Solubilizing agent. Okay? Okay, solubilizing agent sila kasi iodine class is not really soluble in water. So for it to become soluble, kailangan nato ang help either ni sodium iodide or ni potassium iodide. So paano siya naging soluble?
Ma'am, putol-putol ka po.
Putol-putol ko?
Ma'am, choppy ka po.
Ma'am, putol po.
Choppy po. Dili nakabuo, ma'am.
Actually, nagbutang sa screen. Nakabutang sa screen, your connection is unstable. Unstable ang connection sa school. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Sige, asa ba ko naputol? Dili na sa iodine tincture. Again, nasa 2% solution of iodine and 50% alcohol. So tincture means nasa alcohol content. And then we have the presence of sodium iodide. So these two, sodium iodide and potassium iodide, are called solubilizing agents. Solubilizing agent sila class because iodine itself is not soluble in water. So, di ba iodine is a member of the diatomic molecule. So, duha ka molecule ni iodine plus sodium iodide, it will actually give you a triiodide. So, kaning triiodide, mao ni siya ang soluble sa water. So, mao na siya nga kailangan og help ni either sodium iodide or ni potassium iodide to make iodine soluble sa tubig. So, ang kalahian naman ni iodine tincture and ni iodine solution, 2% gihapon nga iodine pero this time it's water only. Okay, pag tincture na ay alcohol. And the Lugol solution is also known as the strong iodine solution. Nahimo siya strong iodine solution because it contains greater na concentration compared to the iodine solution. Okay? Tell me if magputol-putol na sag ko, ha? So, mani siya kung giingon kagain na the inorganic iodides like sodium iodide and potassium iodide are there to help iodine na maging soluble siya sa water. At the same time, to reduce its volatility. Kasi volatile ang atuang iodine. If you leave that in an open space, mag-evaporate lang na siya. Now, what is the mechanism of action of our iodine when you use that as an antiseptic? So, probably, ang iyahang action is still on the proteins. It's iodination of our proteins, kung at mga components sa proteins like aromatic residues, and it will also cause oxidation of those substance. So again, the target is still the protein of the bacteria. Kasi once you target the protein of the bacteria class, the bacteria can no longer grow, it can no longer multiply. So at the end, mamatay lang gihapon siya. Kaya wala naman siya nag-grow, wala na po siya nag-divide, wala na siya nag-multiply. So that's the rationale of targeting the proteins of the bacteria. But then again, let me remind you that even if you target the proteins of the bacteria, ang atuang own proteins, dili po siya maapektuhan because we have different type of protein kesa sa doon sa bacteria. And then we have iodophores class. These are combination of iodine and non-ionic na surfactants. Pag gitawagan niyang isa ka substance of surfactant, it's a substance that will lower down the surface tension. I think you have that in your physical pharmacy. So just like sabon, ang sabon, di ba, is a surfactant. It can lower down the surface tension. Mana siya ang surfactants. Now, pag iodophores, combination lang siya ni iodine o non-ionic na surfactant. So you still have the antiseptic or germicidal na effect ni iodine, and at the same time, because of the presence of the non-ionic surfactant, the volatility of iodine is still reduced and wala na siya irritant na property. So ang example class ni iodophore is ang kanang pinakaginagamit nato karon nga antiseptic. It's the povidone iodine. So our brand name na pinaka-common pod for the povidone iodine is the betadine. Okay? So povidone is the non-ionic surfactant. Povidone lang siya known, no, pero that's just an abbreviation. Ang iyahadyong full name is the polyvinyl pyrrolidone or the PVP. So muna siya mostly ito ang ginagamit if we treat wounds or even kanang mag-disinfecta o kanang incision na site. Okay? So ang betadine or ang povidone iodine is actually effective for both bacteria and fungi. Plus, na may mga chat sa kuan, wala pa na ako gi-open hangtod karon. Puno na akong chat box. Unya sa jud na ko natubagon na kay marag busy pa jud ang linya. Okay? Questions about the povidone iodine and the iodine itself. That's the first one ha, kay halogens. We are talking about halogens. So iodine pa lang to, napatay chlorine. So si chlorine class, it's still under the halogen ha. Ato lang siyang i-separate from the iodine. So what naman now is the mechanism of action of our chlorine. So actually it's the same thing. The target is still the protein. This time it's chlorination. Kagain na iodination man. So ang iodine ang mo-attach dito sa mga parts sa proteins sa bacteria. This time it will be the chlorine that will be attached to the parts of the proteins like the amide nitrogen atoms, and at the same time oxidation of the sulfhydryl groups sa proteins gihapon. So we have the halazone. This one is a favorite also of sa board exam kasi mao ni siya ang substance, ang tawag sa substance nga ginagamit nato to disinfect drinking water. Di ba itong mga drinking water, makaingunta na siya chlorine, no? So ang uban kay lasa kayo ang chlorine, ang uban magputi kay siya, labi na basta bago pa lang nilagi disinfect ang water, nagaputi ang tubig pagawas sa gripo. So The name of the chemical used to disinfect drinking water is halazone. Again, this is a favorite na board exam question. Pero naalay limit sa percent sa chlorine nga gina-allow for drinking water. Dili pod pwede nga grabe nagputi-puti na. When you experience that na paggawa sa gripo nagaputi ang tubig class, ayo sa ninyo siya inumon dayon ha, stay sa ninyo siya for some time hangtod na matanggal, mawala tong gaputi.
Muna siya sa swimming pool, ma'am.
Chlorine ba ang ginagamit nila sa swimming pool? I think dili siya ata. Chlorine mismo ang ginagamit ha. Kasi naga-blue mo ang swimming pool. So I think it's the Bordeaux mixture ang ginagamit sa swimming pool. Na siya copper sulfate, tapos na siya calcium oxide. Kasi kailangan po sa swimming pool, this is just good for bacteria and fungi. Sa swimming pool, kailangan pa ang algicide. So, para dili siya maglumot. So, again, ang ginagamit, it's the Bordeaux mixture. Pero kung sa drinking water lang, it's the halazone. Okay? Questions pa?
Ma'am, kumakainom ka good ma'am ng swimming pool na tubig. Anong mangyari sa'yo, ma'am?
It depends on your immune system. It depends on your immune system kasi natural class nga daghan kay bacteria ang nasa swimming pool, no? Aside sa mga ihi dinha sa tanang nangaligo. So ang bacteria pod grabe. Actually dili na siya kaya sa ilahang ginabutang na disinfectant. Pero pag nakainom ka, it depends on your immune system. Kung kaya niya, then wala'y mahitabo sa imuha. Pero pag dili mo kaya, most likely magkaroon, like for example, mag-diarrhea ka, buhi pa nga nakainom, wala man siguro wala pa nakainom ng tubig sa swimming pool, no? So, kaya ra siya sa ato ang immune system. Anyway, gamay ra man pud nimong nainom na di man pud daghan kaayo. Pero kung daghan na gyud kaayo, murag magka-problema na taan na. Okay? Another chemical agent that contains chlorine class is the chloroazodine. This one is for wounds para ano siya? Pwede siya irrigation or lavage panglimpyo sa wounds or pwede po siya for sa ngipon kanang I don't know if unsa nang ginagamit sa dentist sa nga tubig nga lainan ko glasa kaning ginapang irrigate nila. Katong naga-braces pa ko pero hindi na siya. Pero karon wala na ko naka-experience ana. But anyway, this one is an antiseptic for wounds. Pwede po siya sa ngipon. And then we have oxychloroquine. You cannot see them as single agent. Most of the time, these agents are combination with the others. So, makita ninyo sila sa formulation sa likod, content sa mga substances na ginagamit nato as antiseptic. So, just like the oxychloroquine, this is another antiseptic ginagamit to remove necrotic tissue from infections, massive infections, or radiation necrosis. Or pwede po siya to counteract odorous discharges and to act as irritant and to disinfect cysts and fistulas. Class, kana ganing kumiyon kag necrotic tissue, kanang mga namatay na tissue para sa mga diabetic god, di ba, pag kanang putulono na gani ilahang tiil, di mo itom na ilahang samad. It's an indication class na namatay na ang tissues mo na ang itom na siya. So you can use oxychloroquine for that. And kung may mga cyst and mga fistulas class na nainana sa sulod, kung gusto nimo na siya what do you call that, limpyuhan, you can use this agent, oxychloroquine sodium. Okay? So those are the halogen containing nato na mga substances. Questions? Magkulat ko kung na may question. Wait lang ha, let me see because I'm actually planning to And yeah, I can do this. Sige. Okay, let's continue. Nagaplano ko kung hangtod asa ang ako ang i-discuss sa inyo ha and mahimo siyang coverage sa prelim. So let us continue. I can still manage to finish up to before the antifungal. Sige, we have the cationic surfactant. So these are the substances again that will lower down the surface tension. They are quaternary ammonium compounds. And since cationic, they will give positively charged particles when you place them in the water. So, ang mechanism of action nila, ma-absorb sila dito sa surface sa bacterial cell. When you say ma-absorb, if this is the bacterial cell wall, pilit na sila dito and then causing the lysis of the cell. So kung mag-lyse na siya, mag-isi, all the contents inside will leak and that will cause the death of the bacteria. However, the disadvantage of using this kind of anti-infective is ma-inactivate man gud siya kung isabay nimo siya sa soap and other anion detergent. Kasi cationic surfactant sila positively charged. So pag imuha silang isabay with those na negatively charged, mawala ang ilahang effect. At the same time, kung magkaroon sila og interaction with body fluids, posible pod nga ma-reduce ang ilahang effectiveness. So when you say body fluids, we have the blood, the serum, the pus, and other na mga tissue constituents. So again, mao ni ang disadvantage of using this anti-infectives. So the first one is the benzalkonium chloride. So this one is the generic name of our merthiolate. So, di ba, ano mo sa inyuhang kuko, nagagamit og merthiolate, it's benzalkonium chloride. Excuse me, punog hangin o diyan. Benzalkonium chloride. Okay, your internet connection is unstable. Let me know if himo na pug kong robot dinhi ha. Wait lang. This is also a board exam question. Let me write it sa screen. The old merthiolate class, old ha, dati, atong merthiolate jud is ang iyahang iyahang generic name kay thimerosal. This is thimerosal. Okay? Ang problema, naa siya'y mercury. So, di ba? We don't want mercury to be absorbed in our body. So that is why giilisan karon ang merthiolate. Mananay nakabutang new. It is now benzalkonium chloride. So ginagamit siya as detergent, emulsifying and wetting agent, and ginagamit pud siya as, along with sodium nitrate as preservative. So dili lang na siya taman pa pink-pink sa imuhang kuko, sa imong tiil. Antiseptic sad siya. Itong problema kung masamad ka kay ma-reduce ang iyahang effectiveness. There. Okay. Questions, class? Wala. So we have the methyl benzethonium chloride. The brand name in the market is Diaparin. Ginagamit niya siya sa baby. Especially kapag nakadevelop ang baby og rashes because sa iyahang diaper. So again, mao niya itong ginagamit as treatment, the methyl benzethonium chloride. So kanang naga-cause og rashes sa baby is ang bacteria called Bacterium ammoniagenes. Ang ano man gud ana niya iyahang food is the ammonia. And since di ba urine nasa diaper, there will be like liberation of ammonia gikan sa urine, and that will cause the rashes sa infants or sa baby. So again, this is our treatment, the methyl benzethonium chloride. And then I think this one is common also. Cetylpyridinium chloride. This is common also in the market. Let me check DIFLAM if it's cetylpyridinium. I'm not sure of the DIFLAM. Are you familiar with DIFLAM, class?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is another lozenge. Ang lozenge, murag candy. How you place that sa inyong buccal na part. So ito, different.
Ma'am, nawala na po yung video, ma'am.
Robot na sad, ma'am.
Nag-robot na sag ko. Hindi, nagahinay man gud ang ano ba ang diri sa school. It's not settled pyridine. Can you hear me now clearly? No?
Ma'am.
Okay, it's not Tiflam. Anyway, cetylpyridinium chloride is another general antiseptic and most likely found sa mga lozenges nato and at the same time sa mga mouthwashes na ginagamit din for gingivitis. So pag mayroon kag gingivitis, it's the inflammation of the gums. Inflammation of the gums ng gingivitis. Diba na siya ang use ni cetylpyridinium chloride. And then, we have the chlorhexidine gluconate. This is actually the Bactidol. And the chlorhex, ang kaning duha, dili na sila common. But take note class because this is another board exam question. In the US, Bactidol is chlorhexidine. But in the Philippines, manang ginakabutang dira in RP, it's in the Philippines, Bactidol is actually hexetidine. So lahi ato ang content sa Bactidol dire. However, it's the same na gamit mouthwash or irrigation na solution. So, ano siya, it's okay to gargle this antiseptic kasi dili pud siya ma-absorb systematically. When you say dili siya ma-absorb systematically, kasi pag natulon nimo siya, kay imo siyang gigargle dire. Magawas lang pud nimo siya, dili siya.
Robot, ma'am.
Asa ko nag-end? Class, oh my gosh. Ano na dyan? Okay, again.
Putol-putol gyapon, ma'am.
Putol gihapon. Internet dire. Kana, putol-putol gihapon.
Ma'am, mura kag naga-stop dance.
Hinay ang net. Hinay dyan ang net class.
Wala na yung video, ma'am. Nagpilit na.
Napilit
Nag-stop dance na ka, ma'am. Fill in the blank.
Nag-freeze na yung video.
May na lang, ma'am. Nakasmile ka.
Wala na yung
Screenshot tama, ma'am. Joke.
Ayaw. Tell me if okay na ha. Tell me if you can hear me clearly. That is the reason why I prefer to be in our house. Kaya lang kagaina nag-brown out. So nagdali-dali ko gadto diri sa school because of that. Okay na? Sige. So we have chlorhexidine ha, pero in the Philippines, we have hexetidine. It's okay to gargle this, and even if you swallow this, it's actually safe kasi hindi siya na-absorb systematically. Hindi siya ma-add to sa blood. So di siya makakos og toxicity. So mo na siya ang advantage ni chlorhexidine. In the Philippines, it's hexetidine. Okay? Do not forget that because it's a board exam question. So, however, let me end here na lang. Kasi tomorrow, we will have the dyes, the mercury compounds, mercurials, and the preservatives. So, my intention is actually to end here. And then, the antifungal agents hanggang sa end will be sa midterm na siya. So let us see tomorrow if hangtod asa jud ako ang mahuman. Kung napakoy daghang time basig makadiretso ko sa antifungal. Nag-alanganin lang ko mag-start og antifungal kasi daghan kaayo ato ang antifungal sa na naga-exist. So daghan siya kaayo. Malanganin ko mag-start ani. Anyway, let us end there. I told you I'll have my quiz sa chapter 4 tomorrow, so please study. Mo na siya ang mahitabo basta hapit ng exam magsige og quiz.